Hello everyone, welcome back to another exciting video of Trucking with Cooper. Before I get started, if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give me a thumbs up. I know there's about 42% of you that's watching this channel that are not subscribers yet, so why? Hit the subscribe button. So anyway, this is literally my fourth time trying to make this video, because every time I get into it, I start getting a little bit hot-headed, and we all know from previous videos how I can get when I get hot-headed. My mouth just kind of takes over, so kind of have to back that shit up a little bit. But anyhow, we'll talk a little bit about everybody's favorite topic, Artur Express. But this time, unfortunately, I've got some not so good news. And if anybody knows me at all, they know that, you know, I will put out the bad with the good. Not everything is peaches and cream at any company, you know, unfortunately. However, this particular problem here has been going on for a little while. I thought we kind of had it cleared up to where it wasn't happening anymore, but after today, it happened to me yet again, proved otherwise. And not only has this circumstance happened to me not once but twice, it's also happened to Lonnie, it's happened to Jason, it's happened to Stuart, and I'm sure it's probably happening to some other drivers out there as well. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about dispatching yourself off the load board, getting the load put on you, just to have it taken off of you to put on another driver, as favoritism is what I call it. And that's just being blunt. That's just basically what it is. I've had it happen to me, like I said, twice now. I haven't had it happen for a while. It's been a good while, but today it happened. I was looking for a load out of New Caney, Texas, because I deliver this New Caney tomorrow. So I was looking for a reload out of there on the load board, to try to get me out there, get me out of there, and to get me back up into a decent lane. So I ended up finding one that Jason normally ends up with. It was a Pasadena. So I would have live loaded out of Pasadena and took it to Jackson, Missouri. And I could have finished that off for this week, which would have set me up perfectly for next week after my 34. That would have delivered in Jackson on Sunday. I would have taken my 34 at that point, and then early Tuesday morning I could have just zipped in into the P&G there out of Jackson, and most likely come back down toward Texas someplace. So I found that load on the load board. I requested it, and at first it wasn't put on me. I called after hours, and I was told by after hours that since it was a live load, it had to go through a load planner because of other drivers that were going to be down there. We just had to see what happened, or I needed to wait until my dispatcher would come in within that hour, get with my dispatcher, and go from there. And I was like, okay, that's fine, not a problem. So when my dispatcher got in, I contacted him. Well, your horn works, driver. Anyway, so I contacted the dispatcher. He's seen where I requested it. He said that it was going to be, he pushed it through to the load planner to see if it was going to be okay for me to take it, which I don't like that, for one. I don't particularly like that having to be pushed to load planner, just for the simple fact because I'm not a company driver there. And that's what this load board is for. And what I was told, if it's on that board, you request it, as long as you're first at it, the load is basically yours. So for one, I don't like that why it's being pushed to a load planner, but okay, I said okay, fine, okay, you know, just keep on the load planner because these things will go quick. You know, this load will set me up perfectly for next week. It finishes my week off perfectly, and it sets me up perfectly for next week. I said, so keep with the load planner, make sure it gets pushed through. Okay, yeah, sure. Well, eventually it got pushed to me. There's little pieces of that that's missing, but long story short, it got pushed to me. I did end up with that load. So I noticed it popped up on Diatat. It was assigned to me. I was like, good deal, good to go. So I don't know, maybe a half an hour later, I was wanting to look at something with that. So I got back into Diatat and I was looking and then noticed it was gone. Okay. Been down this road before. So I called the dispatcher back. I said, what's going on here? What's happening? Well, it looks like that all those Pasadenas on the board were canceled. Something to do with the customer. I don't really know the whole deal with it, but that's why it was taken off for you. I'm in the process now to find you another load. And I'm like, okay. Well, let me know. A few minutes later, he calls me back, says, well, I found out what really happened with that Pasadena. And I was like, okay. What's going on? Well, we're just offering you a better load. I was like, okay, well, I'm not really sure what load could be a better setup than what I wanted, but okay. I said, so what do you have? And the load that I ended up with, it's not a bad load. I'm not complaining about that at all. It's not a bad load. It is a live load. It's a live unload. But it's a very light load, and it puts me up to St. Louis. So as far as the loading, the unloading, I know the place. They don't take very long to get you loaded. They don't take you very long to get you unloaded. And the weight, it's ideal weight, you know, obviously. So as far as that goes, it's not a bad load. It's 752 loaded miles. So miles wise, it's a good load. However, it puts me in an area that I so much don't like, because no matter how I slice or dice it, I've either got two options at that point. I go to Edwardsville and get something that's 45,000 plus freaking pounds that I have to fight with to get my axle weights right every time, because they completely either load the nose too heavy or they load the ass end too heavy, and it's a nightmare to get right sometimes. Or sometimes you're just stuck taking the crap back to get it reworked. So that's option one. Or option two, now I need the deadhead back to Jackson, where I should have ended up to begin with, which is 122 miles. So that's kind of the dilemma with that. Now, taking loads out of Edwardsville with the weight wise, sure, it's heavy. I can still do okay fuel mileage wise the way I run with that heavy load. But my biggest issue with is just, I know what I'm in for, and as far as trying to get the axle weights right, I just don't particularly like messing with them over there. So that's usually why I try to keep myself around that Jackson area, you know. But nevertheless, I'm getting off topic with that shit. Nevertheless, the whole point of this is, when using this load board, as long as you're first come, you're the first one to do it, you get the load. So for a load to be pulled off of me, not once but twice now, the time being here, and it's happened to others, and I'm sure it's still happening now, to have that load pulled off of you after it was already assigned to you, to give to another driver for favoritism, doesn't work for me. And shit doesn't work for me. And I thought we had this cleared up. I thought that problem was no longer, because I haven't had it happen. I haven't heard of it happening. But apparently it's starting to resurface again. So I guess got to nip it shit in the butt again, and fast. But other than that though, guys, my journey here at Artur has been very good. Other than just that hiccup part of it, that we got to get nipped in the ass again, somehow, some way, my journey here has been very good. I really love all the office personnel. I get along with everybody in the office fantastically. I pretty much can go where I want, do what I want. I'm left alone. I do run off that load board a lot, and I haven't had problems with that situation in several months. Like I said, up till today. But all in all, I mean, I'm still very happy here. I'm sure we're going to get that problem squared away. There's no doubt about that problem will be addressed and taken care of. But I just figured I'd make a quick video and just let you guys know that every Artur video ain't going to be peaches and creams. Not everything's going to smell like roses. I mean, just like any company, you have your downfalls. It's just, what are they, you know? Eventually they surface, you know. Eventually the problems surface, and unfortunately it's an unfortunate circumstance that we just have that problem here with that load board. It's a stupid problem to have, but we have it. So anyway, that's that. Just wanted to get it, like I said, just wanted to shoot that out to you guys, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.